Hi, Lisa. So this is like just a few questions to recap and think through our work together, and perhaps be a sort of inspiration to whoever is watching this that might be interested in working together. The first question I have for you is tell us a little bit about what was going on in your life before you worked together. Maybe the biggest problem you're trying to solve, or just how you even decided it might be a good idea to work together.
Yeah, so I have been running this business for when we started working, I had been running this business for 7.5 years. And in that time, I had taken some time off. I was doing it part-time. I was raising my family. I had some caregiving activities. And so in September, it was really time for me to jump back into my business and spend the time to really build it properly. And so I started doing that on my own. And I realized that I don't know a lot about finding leads and growing my business that way. The consistency was the biggest challenge. A lot of my business over the years has been through referrals, but I hit a wall and I was kind of through my referrals and ready to start getting a broader market. So working with you really came from the problem of not having consistent leads.
Awesome. Okay, so tell me then about what has changed after working together, maybe specifically concrete results or changes in yourself, the business, the client, the prices, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of changes. I've changed my packaging. I've now moved to a couple of coaching containers as opposed to just doing hourly coaching ad hoc, which is really helpful for consistency and planning on my end, but it's also great for clients to understand where they're going to get to. I think that the other big change has been my content planning. You've given me such a great tool to come up with content. I always found it really difficult. And with this new strategy that you've given me, it's so easy to come up with the content because I'm doing it on a regular basis. And
wait, by the way, don't be afraid to give it away. What is the strategy? So that people are like, what do you mean? Why? What makes it so easy?
So what I've been doing is after each of my coaching calls, I'm writing down something an insight or something that came from the session, something that other people could care about that I can then create content from. So it's made it so much easier for me to build content around that and to understand what my clients really need and what they want. And so in terms of results, I have signed the first person into my coaching container. I've also had this last couple of weeks, I've had 6 consultation calls set up, and it had been quite slow it had been slow before that. So it's really changed the way that I'm showing up. I find that my confidence has grown. I've also been approaching the sales conversation in a different way. So lots of changes across the board.
Thank you for sharing. One thing you actually said that stuck out to me was the packaging. Your program also helps clients see where they're going. So it's not just about like, okay, now it's more expensive. It's also like, now I'm not just saying I'm going to coach you for an hour. Like, this is the destination. This is what's going to be different after we work together. So love it. Okay. Was there anything that almost stopped you from saying yes to working together? If yes, what? And how did you work through it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've signed up with other coaches in the past and I haven't gotten results as much. And it wasn't necessarily about the coaches that I was working with in the past. It was just that their systems were different. And what I really liked about you is that from the beginning, you've always made sure that it was about money-making priorities. And, it's drilled into my head in a good way that if what I'm working on doesn't make money, then I shouldn't be doing it. And that was a big shift because there's a lot of times where I spent planning or organizing or coming up, this is something that you had said to me too, like I was going to change my offers again at one point. And you're like, let's just sell what we have. Let's make money. Let's put it out there. And so I really appreciated with you that you were very direct and that it was about the results. And so I think that was a big difference.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, were there any surprises around the process of me working with you or the outcome? Did anything surprise you about our work together?
I think just how kind of all-encompassing it is, that it's not just leads. There's so many pieces to it that you need to that you don't even realize you need to align in order to, like, the mindset and the confidence and the package and the client, like speaking to clients. So, and yet it's also very simple. Like, it's not easy, but it is simple once you really whittle it down. So that was surprising.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. This is also kind of, I guess, nice for me to know what it's like on your side receiving all of it. So thank you for sharing. Super duper appreciate. Okay, if you were talking to someone who was thinking of working with me and you're like, I'm just thinking about it, I'm on the fence, what would you say to them?
I would say definitely do it. This is a business changing container that really helps you to build your leads, build consistent leads. And at the end of the day, that's what makes your business run, is how do I get more leads? How do I go beyond what I've done? And how can I speak to clients? And so that's really, if that's a problem for you, if consistent leads and consistency in your business is a problem, 100% do it.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much, Lisa. I super duper appreciate you.
Yeah, me too. I really appreciate working with you.
I still remember like your email to me, maybe like the day after the content, like talking to you about how to do content. And I'm like, oh my God, I signed a client in capital letters. It was that, and like just that the quickness of it, and how I think it was that you had talked to the person on Monday and decided up on Wednesday. And I'm like, oh my God, you can literally be this fast. So I love it for you. And I also love that people are finding you more and more on LinkedIn, so it's easy for you somewhat. So now just go all the more calls. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem at all.